Hello everyone, it is Fethend here again, and first thing you might notice is that is not the same stuff I was wearing. Well, you'd be right. I decided to switch to a sword and board warrior, because like I said I would do for y'all, I went ahead and did a bit of reading. And I decided I wanted to play sword and board. Hopefully the volume is a little better for you. By the way, I noticed it was fairly quiet in the last episode. I did try to fix that. Not really much more to say about that, but aside from switching to a warrior, I didn't really make any other noteworthy changes to my playthrough this time.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador.
And this is where we learn about another useful facet of the game.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Sir Trevelyan, may I present the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denerim, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
People have been injured. You can't just turn them out onto the snow.
I also made a few slight changes to the
Divine
appearance.
Justinia, Marquis. The Inquisition, not the Chantry, is sheltering the pilgrims who mourn her.
Why is the Chantry ignoring the faithful?
Because it remains in shock. We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
He has some really crazy clothes going on.
The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
That's one thing to note, is people wear some really weird outfits in this game.
Do the d'Aurelions actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite their Ferelden relations, the d'Aurelions are Orlesian. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm so pleased the Marquis isn't tossing us out into the cold.
Well,
His
that
Grace
text
is
almost
only the
felt
first
like
of many dignitaries we must
butchered.
contend with.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart.
But there's actually a
An
pretty
ambassador
solid
should
reason
ensure
why
the
I
daily
chose to go
sets
sword and board
complement
instead, which you will see here in just a couple moments.
May I ask?
First, let's get to know the
what
people
brought
we're
you to work
adventuring
for the
with.
Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has
Which,
become
of
as
course, starts with
interesting
our
as she
diplomat.
promised.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montelier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
Can we talk later? I have some calibrations I'm in the middle of. I know that's completely not what's going on there, but it's what I always think of. I'm in the middle of some calibrations. So this is the research table. If you'll remember some of those items, which I actually didn't get one this time. I'm kind of sad about that. I turned them in here for those damage boosts I mentioned.
You're the Herald.
She will explain
Or,
this to
well,
me.
the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. I hope the Inquisition can restore order soon. I never really wanted to leave the circle. My name is Maeve.
See, there you
research
see I got a
demons and
damage
other
bonus
creatures.
against demons,
Seeker
and I unlocked
Pentagast
the
and I
codex.
use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
I found something the demons left behind. Can you use it?
Yes, that's very helpful. Just leave it there and the Tranquil and I will examine it.
So I still
You've
want to
brought
talk to
back
her
some
though, because I want to
fascinating
actually,
things.
talk
We're
to her.
putting them to good use.
You said you were a mage.
No, just an apprentice. I was never very good at magic. I've got just enough talent to be a danger to other people. But when the mages rebelled, people like me had nowhere to go. The Templars would have killed us. Luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in, along with the
In
Tranquil
the
I was
first
protecting.
game, you got to meet a dwarf and teach her to be a mage. Or, well, get her to study with the circle. It was pretty cool.
I'm surprised that even an apprentice mage
In this
wouldn't
game,
join the
dwarves,
rebellion.
due to
I
their...
don't like using
Miriam
magic
is...
to fight.
Lyrium,
I'm
sorry,
not good at it either.
is mined
I like
underground,
studying.
and dwarves
I
are
like
the ones that
performing
do it.
rituals that helped us unlock the secrets of the Veil.
So
like
due
having
to
the
their
Templars
constant
around to keep
lyrium
us
exposure,
safe.
they actually can't become mages. But the way dreaming
never felt
works is you
comfortable
connect to the
around
Fade,
magic.
and the Fade
It's
is
hard to
where
trust
mages
anyone
get
with
their
that
power.
sort of
So at
power.
the same time,
It's
dwarves
hard to
don't
trust anyone with
dream.
any sort of power.
They're also a little
But I
more
didn't
immune
ask
to
for
magic,
this.
though.
I was born into a Dalish clan. I lived there until my magic manifested. The Dalish cannot risk having too many mages in one clan.
Technically, if I wanted
I
to
was
be an
one
even
more than
stronger
they could bear.
warrior, I would have
They
gone
gave me a
dwarf.
pack and sent me into the woods to find my own life.
Because with my armor
I was
and
7
such, I'll
years
do
old.
well against physical attacks, but armor doesn't help that much against magic. A dwarf gets a 25% resistance to magic, so...
I'm so sorry.
I stumbled into a village, starving and cold a few weeks
I
later.
wasn't paying attention to her, I'm
I
sorry.
started using magic to scare predators away. The villagers saw me make fire in my fist. They were terrified and wanted to kill me. Templars saved me from them. They gave me food and clothes and took me to the circle. I've seen what life is like without the Templars, and I want no part of it. I just want to study.
You said that you were keeping some of the Tranquil safe.
Yes. The mages took some of them when my circle rebelled.
The Tranquil
rest
are
were forgotten.
mages that have been
Most
separated
circle
from the
mages look
Fade.
down on the Tranquil, or try to pretend they don't exist. They don't have any emotions. They can barely take care of themselves, can't defend themselves at all. It's a shame. I like them better than most people.
I'm glad they have someone who cares about them.
They deserve better. They're polite, they're rational, and they'll never get angry at you. When they study, they have a focus no normal person could
When
ever
that
match.
happens, they also
But the
lose
Templars,
connection
even
to
some of the mages,
emotion.
mistreated them just because they could. The Tranquil never fought back.
It's
not
kind of
for
hard
that,
to
I
explain. I don't know how to...
know.
The Tranquil,
Doesn't really matter
it's
now.
a very painful fate, it sounds like.
You said Cassandra has you researching creatures.
Yes. If you find anything interesting in your travels, I'd appreciate you bringing it to me. I may be able to find some weakness our soldiers can exploit when fighting various creatures. At the least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
I'll speak with you later.
Thank you again for what you've brought back.
I'm gonna try talking to
Hello?
her again real
Can I
quick,
help you with something?
so that we can ask why.
Why did you
study
decide to research dangerous creatures?
I like the outdoors. The idea of the outdoors, anyway. When
Can't we
some
all agree with
monster is
that?
coming at you, glowing eyes and burning claws, it's terrifying. But once you know how it works, you can deal with it. It's just another part of the world. So much of this world is only frightening because we don't understand it.
That's actually fairly true.
I'll speak.
Travel safe.
So, yeah, that's just how the monster research went. And as you saw, I got a little pop-up in the bottom left that Josephine is back. But my others should be done soon, shortly as well. So I'm going to go ahead and actually wait on them, and I'll just take care of all three at the same time. So, this is one area where being a rogue would still be rather useful. Not because of my loot, I get that regardless. Rogues are the ones that wear medium armor, so... Arms aren't actually armor in this one like they were in the very first game. In this, it's an upgrade piece. Like, if I were a rogue, I would be able to open those. I don't remember if there's really anything in there. There might be a piece of loot or two across these rooms. I can't remember. There, I got a, that's actually a pretty good staff. Oh, by the way, the things I told you I was going to research, I figured out what Sunder does. Unless otherwise stated, it's a % chance to reduce the enemy's armor by 20%. Against a low armor foe, that's of course not that useful. 20% of 10 is only 2. So, and that's just, it's a direct correlation. 1 point of armor negates 1 point of physical damage. So it only reduces increases my damage by 2. But if it has 40 armor, that's an 8 difference. So Vitar, that's like tattoos on Canary. I'll be able to show you later, but it's just neat.
And I shall embrace you.
So, but like I was saying though, on the inverse, if they had 40 armor, that's an 8 damage boost. So whereas if I might have been in a situation where I'm literally dealing 1 damage because they have more armor, I can do that and I'm dealing 7 to 8 times as much damage. Or even if I was only doing a few points, I'm still doing a lot more. So, against boss type enemies that do have a lot of armor like that, it's very useful. Against just your average pleb that has 5 armor, not that useful. Overall, I would rate it as being not that useful. We got a new helmet there. You'll notice I'm actually wearing my Templar helmet now. But I'm going to put this on instead. Because, as we just discussed, armor is a direct correlation to damage. Defense is a percentage.
Do you think the mages will be able to seal the breach?
So, in that case, 3% physical melee defense makes it so melee attacks do 3% less damage. Just flat. It's not like the very first game where defense is correlation to whether you get hit. But rather it's more direct than that. It's just 3% less damage. Attack is just more damage.
Inquisition quartermaster. I'm
So
doing what I
3%
can
attack
to
would be
supply this
3%
mess.
more
If you
damage.
find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
So as always, we're going to investigate.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands.
Her hat is very
Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier, best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. King Alistair offered my services to the Inquisition, probably to get rid of me.
Your loyalty to the man you served is admirable, Quartermaster.
Thank you. A lot of people seem to think they know what happened at Ostagar, but I was there. Ten Loghain never betrayed his king. If he'd brought the reinforcements, Darkspawn would have just killed everyone. He did what he had to do to save our country, and we betrayed him. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
So now we got another one that's ready
If
to
I have
report in.
material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site, maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
So, this is requisitions. It's another little thing. It's mainly used to gain power. Power is used on my war
Find
table
anything we need?
to investigate new missions, basically. So let's go ahead and have a quick chat with
Blessed are the
Liliana.
peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
That's just a common
Blessed are the
prayer.
righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood. To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak Fandraste, no?
What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
Don't ask me. I'm as baffled as you are.
Then we can only guess at what he wants. The
So
Chantry
Liliana
teaches
used
that
to
the
be a
Maker
sister of
abandoned
the
us.
Chantry, and
He demands repentance for our sins.
as you
he
can tell,
demands
she's
it
a
all.
little jaded.
Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the Divine. She led the faithful. She was the heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden.
Still
I
think
regret
that
that I
armor
even
just
let
looks
you see
awesome,
me like this.
except for the gloves.
It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
I'm just gonna do a little bit of looting real quick before I go back to the war table. Because Colin should be done with his task here in a moment too, unless it already happened and I just missed it. Which I won't deny is absolutely possible. Likely. I will talk to you in a little bit, Vera. Have a song. Stays my bar. Yeah, we're gonna, once we get back to that war table, we should be able to introduce you to the next major.
Just what I heard.
And we can have a conversation with this one.
You're the
It's a
herald
pretty
van
short
Thursday.
one.
She sent you to us to show the world her love, and I am ready for that love. Well, I'm not ready for that kind of love. That is, unless that's what you want. But, I mean, I'm Flissa. Can I get you a drink?
It's all right, Flissa. I won't do anything frightening.
If you wanted to close the breach, I wouldn't mind. As I said, I'm Flissa. The Inquisition soldiers needed a place to unwind, so Liliana brought me in to set up a tavern. Nothing fancy, but it's safer for the soldiers than looking for trouble in some village.
You said Liliana asked you to run an Inquisition tavern. How did you meet?
Dumb luck, mainly. I managed an inn back in
There it
Denver.
is.
When I heard interesting gossip, I'd pass word to Liliana. Sometimes it was helpful. She asked if I wanted to own my own tavern, and I said yes. I didn't realize she meant this.
What can you tell me about this area?
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harrit is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Segrit. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things. I understand.
It is a confusing concept.
Farewell.
Give her that.
Goodbye.
But now that our guys are ready, we have another important thing to learn about. Just got to make our way back to the war table to, you know,
And I shall embrace
learn about it. So we're going to summon our little war council here. The exclamation mark just means they finished whatever it is they were doing.
My scouts are posted on the ridges in case
I got a
there's any trouble.
sword. That's not necessarily what I was expecting. Influence is what I was talking about. So as I gain influence, it's its own sort of experience system towards leveling up. So just because it's shorter, I'm going to send Liliana on that, and I don't have any other missions I can do, so they can get me some money.
To work?
But yeah, influence is like its own little leveling up system for the Inquisition itself. There is a cap on it, though. Let's see. You can only get 20 influence points, which you spend on Inquisition perks. But because we can only get 20, we don't want to just waste them, you know? So yeah, this weapon could potentially be better than my current sword, but because of that +5 fire damage, it is slightly stronger for now. We might be changing that very shortly. So, what I did say we were going to do, though, is we're going to go over here and we're going to talk to Barrow, our resident dwarf with a crossbow.
Now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
I'm just glad I'm still standing after all that.
I still can't believe you survived Cassandra. You're lucky you were out cold for most of her frothing rage. For days now, we've been staring at the breach.
By the way, that's something
watching
worth noting. I
demons
did
and
up
make
the
her nose
difficulty. I'm
blood
playing
fall
on
out of
hard
it.
now.
Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
It's pure luck that I escaped.
Good
I
luck.
think I did a lot
or
better
bad.
pace this time.
You might
It's
want to
much
consider
more
running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this
hideous,
is going. Heroes
I
are
guess.
everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky, that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
So that's all Varric has to say for right now. I think I could just talk to him again and get a few more dialogue options, but I'm not going to. Codex over here. We're actually really close to leveling up again. And there we got Solus, but we'll talk to him in just a moment. First, we gotta explore and try and get some more loot. One more Codex and we'll level up. So, this is the apothecary. This is actually really,
Segret asks
really
that
important.
he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell
Because
Segret
potions,
that
I mean,
doesn't
not
need to
just
solve
for
anytime
healing,
soon.
but they have other purposes as well. You
Look
can
who's
get
back
like
from the dead.
grenades, tonics that
Again.
give you buffs, different kinds of healing potions.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
He's such a
didn't
pleasant
realize.
person to talk
Thank
to.
you.
Yeah. Well, you can pay me back by fixing the wood. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching
He
up
actually
wounded
has that
soldiers
potion, by
is
the
a waste
way.
of my time and talents.
It's
But there are few around
really
who can help.
good, actually.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too. You're back. And in one piece.
Yeah, we're back. Because I wanted
Is
to
there
also
anything
ask
I
him
can
if he
do
needs
to
any
help
help.
out?
Because this is
Fine,
one of
as
the
far as
many,
Roleplaying
many,
goes,
many,
you've
many,
more
many,
important
many,
things to do than
many
tend to me.
side quests.
I only
in
wish
this
I'd been
game.
able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
So, we're actually done talking to him. Here you can see the only other kind of potion I have right now is actually regeneration potions. I'm just gonna equip that. All of my people. You know what, maybe not, because it costs 1 elf fruit for each one I make.
Let me know if you need anything.
And that adds up. Like I can boost my potions once I get the right items. I have different effects. It's pretty. For now, it's nothing really to worry about. You have the little default potions you got there, and that's good enough. Nothing in here. So before we talk to Solus, we're gonna go ahead and spend our level up point. What do you want to spend it on? Staggered, that's not that useful. That can be helpful. So the Vanguard tree is actually just riddled with useful tanking stuff. Which you might remember is actually what we're doing. I might just go with Trust the Steel, and this one's actually glitched. It's not providing the actual bonus it's supposed to. It provides the exact same bonus as this. But that's still, as long as I have guard. Well, this one, yeah, when you have active guard, and that's basically an extra 40% armor just for having guard. Which, it's helpful. Because that means less damage I take.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
I didn't ask for this, but someone has to find a way to seal the breach.
Spoken nobly indeed. You think I'm
I
mocking
don't
you?
really like Solus,
This
to be
age has made
honest.
people cynical. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten.
That's something I forgot to mention,
Every
by the
great
way.
war has its
Demons
heroes.
live in the Fade,
I'm just
but so do
curious what kind you'll be.
spirits. They're more tame. They're
What do you mean?
good
ruins and
emotions, I
battlefields?
suppose.
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history.
Because they
Every
all
battlefield
represent
is
an
steeped
emotion,
in
and
death.
demons tend to
Both
represent
attract
negative
spirits.
ones, like
They
pride,
press against the veil, weakening the barrier between
such
our
as
worlds.
that. Basically, your
And
7
I dream
deadly
in such
sins,
places.
those are your demons.
I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating. but you understand my caution.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
So, one thing I want to do real quick is I want to spend a couple points, because Solus actually starts out with a couple decent abilities. I mean, being able to freeze my enemies, which actually starts combos. I figured out how combos work. Use a ability that stuns or debilitates them, followed by, how do I put it? An ability that attacks. Makes it so you can combo. I might want to actually respec Varric, though, which I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. Just because the Caltrops trap, it's not terrible, but it's not that useful either. But for now, we got his archery. Still unwounded. And that's an AoE, so that's probably what I'm going to go for first, just because it's, useful. So is that. But one person I'm definitely respecting is Cassandra, because I don't need two sword invaders. And I'll show you how I respect them here in just a moment once I get there. You get a couple for free. I don't think I have the item for it. I do not. You'll be able to get a couple free respecs. So I'm only really going to worry about respecking just Cassandra for now. The others can wait. You have to buy respecs otherwise, which is why I'm hesitant to do it too much. I'll probably buy one for myself too, just because Payback Strike is actually really, really bad. And it's an ability I get by default. Brilliant. I was going to need a battle axe of some kind, or at least some sort of two-handed. There it is. Okay. Oh, I didn't even see that chest. Like, mostly money stuff. So schematics are learned automatically. You don't have to, like, use them or anything. Once you pick them up in your inventory, you have it permanently. Items and such just take up space in them. But it's even then, it's not that bad.
Ah, you're awake and out of Lady Cassandra's clutches. And here I paid that little knife ear to inform me the moment you were free. No matter, no matter. Segret, honored to meet you. Thank you for all you've done, and hopefully we'll still do.
What do you think I'll be doing exactly?
Word's already spreading that if anyone can close that blighted thing in the sky, it's you. Anything
No,
you
they're
need
not
is
wrong.
yours. For a reasonable price, of course. Supplies are a little tight, given the circumstances.
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. Those blasted demons destroy most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
You must speak
Or
with
you
most everyone
cannot
here.
help us and
How are
everybody
people doing?
dies.
Hope and fear in equal measure. No
Of
one
course,
really
no
knows
one.
what it means
I
when
know
an
that doesn't
Inquisition is
actually
called.
matter. No one would
Yeah.
actually care.
I imagine it's no better for
And
you.
it's not the end of the world
You've got
until
my
you're
sympathies,
literally
Wadsworth.
done.
Can I see what you have for sale?
Of course. My wares are at the table.
So, kind of like with Mass Effect games, you just go to the merchant table itself to shop. However, there's not much reason to buy most things. They're really just not worth it. But, at the same time, a lot of the things I get aren't worth keeping. So I can sell those. That's just my weapons. What's this? You know what, here, actually, I can change their equipment from here. So go to Cassandra, give her a battle axe. You have Varric, he has his Bianca, he does not change his weapon. And you could use this better staff. So that's every... We also have some armor that could prove useful. Nope, nothing for him. So it is definitely a lot more defense. 5% spirit resistance or 2 willpower. And keep in mind, willpower increases your magic defense. So not only is that more armor for him, it also increases his magic defense. And you, of course, will be getting the helmet. Probably this coat. Yeah, also the coat. Which looks exactly the same on her. Not all items have alternate appearances. But if you notice, like, his changed. Why is he wearing that hat? Anyways, back to selling. So now, I know I can sell that. Didn't I put that on her? I'll have to put that on her. I'm gonna hold on. I don't actually like the life ward amulets, so I would never advise ever selling any sort of crafting items, but you can get rid of valuables all you want. You actually can't sell recipes. I don't know why it's an option, but you can buy them. But he doesn't have very many. He can buy items to upgrade my Bianca, but that's it. Because Varric never gets a different weapon, you just have to upgrade his. Everyone else, you get them new weapons. What do we got out? Just Leliana, right? No, I also have Colin. So before I go exploring, because I only really have one character doing anything up there right now, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Leliana because I think I should have another mission of it. And if so, influence is influence.
So heretics just like her. Should we surrender? These truths the Maker has revealed to me. As there is
Yeah.
but one world, one life, one
Into the court council we go. In Ferelden, you're collecting an amulet of power. Guess I was mistaken, I did not get any more missions.
Anything new we don't already
Oh, well.
know about? No, nothing.
And I don't have any Inquisition perks to spend or any power, so I can't do either of those. Which means we're pretty much done here for now, but there is still some actual exploring in Haven to do. We haven't talked to Cassandra yet. But an amulet of power, because this one is Varric. It's just pretty straightforward. He gains an ability point, and it can only be used by Varric, so. That easy. And now he actually gets an extra point to spend. And as we said, we liked the idea of doing even more damage. So, Varric is going to be one of our main damage dealers. We're going to be setting Cassandra up to be doing a lot of AoE damage, so she'll be good against like a lot of small guys. Varric will be good at nuking a single large target primarily, just because of how archer abilities and such are set up. They have some good AoE abilities too, but especially because of abilities like the one I just got, they are really good against a single target. I will talk to you in just a moment, Cassandra. There's a little bit of loot here that I want to get. that just makes it so I will take 2% less damage from melee, which I am a-okay. And here we got some elf fruit, which, as you'll remember, is used for making potions besides the normal one, which it just restocks for like my regeneration potions. And this one actually will increase my magic defense in the form of increasing my willpower, so I also get a little bit of attack out of it, so that's nice. And then we got one more chest over here. +2 Constitution. What does that do again? Health and melee defense. I'm gonna keep my willpower amulet, because magic defense isn't as readily available. Not on a warrior, anyway. So, we actually do trust me. She's a bit of a... let's go with Callous right now. But she gets a lot better later, so we actually do want to go that route.
You're kind of a force of nature, aren't you?
When I need to be.
It's impressive.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy
I gotta admit, I rather
have
like the
revered my
flirt
whole
options
life.
in this game. They're very suave.
One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this
She's
the
not
Maker's
wrong.
will?
I mean, it's like I was saying about the shops, right?
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
Flipping. Whoops.
You didn't have any
The tilde
choice.
key opens the
Didn't I?
console.
My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
Yeah.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. You've said you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
Like I said, we're devout, but not going to be super devout, so
I believe he exists.
yes.
That's comforting. Surely the Maker put us both on this path for a reason. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
Like I said, she's not always, just mostly.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Log with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
What sword does that guy use?
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
At least I got everyone's attention.
That you did. I was
like
recruited to the
Colin.
Inquisition in Kirkwall
Very
myself.
noble.
I was there during the Mage Uprising.
Very
I
regal
saw
he is.
firsthand
But
the devastation.
I like his
But
breastplate, but I don't like his
Cassandra sought a
pants.
solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
You left the Templars for this. You believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
So, he's another good option for flirting, but we already made up our mind.
You've given this a lot of thought.
I know what happens when order is lost, and action comes too late. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Raiden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
And there is one more conversation to be had here before we do a little bit more exploring. Thankfully, this is another really short conversation.
You're the one they're calling the Herald.
I keep hitting that button instead.
Doesn't it?
No. I did not join the Order to adjust my faith so easily. But I appreciate what the Inquisition is trying to do, and your role in it. Though you may find not many Templars do. We're a distrustful lot by nature.
Oh, I know, there is a couple more conversations
How did you come to
I
be a
forgot about.
Templar?
I'm sorry about lying to you right there.
My family are tradesfolk in Denerim. I could have become a cobbler like my father, but this seemed better. It's a chance to uphold the Chantry's laws and help the mages through a troubled time.
Not every Templar feels that way.
I know. Power can corrupt. It's a delicate balance. One person trying to do something can make a difference. You should keep that in mind, Harold.
I'd like your take on the Templar Order.
It's a shadow of what it was. Where once we both protected all people from the dangers of magic, we now posture and grab at power. One day, I hope the circles are again sanctuaries where mages can practice their craft.
You're not going to rejoin the Order?
When the temple went up, your forces rescued those few of us still alive. My life is a debt I intend to repay, however I can.
Do you have any idea what caused the explosion?
No, I'm just a recruit. Belief and faith doesn't get you closer to the important meetings. Though that distance did save my life.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
She's not wrong. I mean, it probably is like the only reason she's alive right now, is that she did not have a high rank. This should be our last conversation for a bit.
And everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
Whoops.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
I didn't actually mean to tap that, I was just trying to open the investigate pane.
Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragonbone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
So this is an example of the investigate where the options don't go away.
Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Goodbye.
Right.
So this is basically the introduction to crafting. You craft and you modify. Those are two completely separate entities. In this case, this is actually not a modifiable armor, but I don't know if that's weapons. I don't need to craft weapons. I wanted to go to armor. Because he did just teach me how to craft a new heavy armor, which already has a really high armor rating. And one thing I tried to point out earlier, in this case, because it's going in this is the primary slot. Yeah, this is the primary slot. So it only provides an armor rating. And this is the defense slot. And I don't actually have enough to use that. So defense, it's plus to health. I would use 4 to make it, so it would result in 40 max health. With iron, I again use 4, and it's plus 1% melee defense, so I get 4% melee defense out of making that, which is pretty worth it. If you look down here, you got utility and defense, defense and defense, and then armor is primary slot and defense. But these are for medium armor, so I'm not even going to bother making them because I don't need them. And I don't have anything to put them on anyway. Sword. But what I can do now is I can go over here to this fancy new armor I made. I got a heavy arm, which actually would increase the melee defense. I'm not actually going to. Instead, I'm going to sell this armor just because this is still strong. If I was getting hit hard, that 5% might be enough to outweigh it, but I'm not. So flat 5 reduction is strong. So instead, we're going to go to buy to sell. These are the items I use to respec. I can get 1 for really, really cheap, and then I can buy infinite for not quite as cheap. But like I said, I really need 2. So I'm just gonna have to fork out the cash for 1. 1 on myself. And 1 on Cassandra. And I'm actually going to give her the Amulet of Constitution. And myself the Willpower. I also need to give Cassandra that helmet, since apparently she didn't put it on. Probably sell this. So now my ability points were refunded, which was the only reason I did that. Vanguard, where we can spend that, and that. This sounds like it'd be good in practice, but because all the damage is going to me. But I'm also reducing all the damage, making it less useful. That could be good. I'm probably going to go for this. But before I do, I want to look at some of these other abilities first. Right now, survival is pretty important to focus on. Just because I don't have all that really good gear yet. So I'm going to do that. And I also need to respec Cassandra, since I'm turning her into a two-handed warrior. One thing worth noting, I am making her a two-handed warrior, but shield wall is still pretty useful. I'm not giving her a shield, so something to keep in mind. If you're ever in a good situation, you can switch to shield wall real quick. This is like the other shield wall. Damage and adds to your guard. That's a source of guard for him. There's Whirlwind. So I want to make my way over to Whirlwind just because it's a really powerful ability. What's this? That actually can be useful. But for now, we're going to go along the path here to continue getting more abilities, because it's another little AoE that's strong. So now we have Cassandra, who's set up as well. And we are also now finally done with the conversations. So we can get on with exploring. Like I said we would forever. I did ping a couple items that way, but I want to go around this way. Just in the future, with just minor exploring stuff like this, I'll probably just cut that out. I may even see about speeding up just with a random running, because that's not very exciting to watch, I know. But you actually get a lot of materials just in Haven where you don't have to worry about fighting and losing health and then having to use those materials you just got. And you could probably honestly get away with completely skipping this step if you want. Here we got a Nug, which not that noteworthy on its own. Catch it. Come on. I do get a tiny bit of XP, but I only did it for the Nug skin. If you kill certain animals, you do get leather components, which is used for your medium armor. Sometimes it's light armor stuff. So that it's not necessary, but it can help. So if you ever just see a stray Nug like that, or oh, I saw something over here. Oh, that's some food. If you ever just get stray animals like that, it's okay to go ahead and just kill them to get a couple little materials. Crafting is pretty effective. I wouldn't really worry about spending on it for a long time, because most of your craft work is going to be, that you care about rather, is going to be tier 3 crafting. And you won't be getting that for a while. There's also some very rare tier 4 materials, but those are limited quantity items from like quests and specific enemies that'll drop the material, like dragons, which are not easy to kill. I might want to point out for you. Don't be expecting to go hunting dragons. This isn't Skyrim. I mean, you'll end up killing a couple dragons across your Dragon Age Inquisition time, but not very many. I mean, I can... Let's see. If you include a shapeshifter boss...
I should look around.
And the arc... Oh. This is an alternate sort of search. When you approach certain quest items, it'll change like this. And you have to just follow the marker. When you're close enough, it discovers whatever it is you're... It can also interfere with searching for actual items, though, so just keep that in mind. Sorry again that it's not very exciting to be gathering all these materials, but it helps. I actually forgot to look at weapon crafting, see if I could get a better sword. I'll have to take a quick look once we get back to the little town camp thing. Make extensive use of that mini-map, guys. It'll tell you where items are way more reliably than your eyes will. At least if you're like me. I am actually just terrible at noticing items. I have to ping constantly to find them. Even if I just killed something, I'll miss the loot that dropped. We got over here. More nugs. Oh, rams. It's honestly a lot easier to kill stray animals with a ranged weapon. So as a warrior, I'm pretty disadvantaged. But once I'm actually like in the wilds, I'll have Varric's crossbow and Solus's spells and staff. So I'll be just fine. Especially since most animals are not like that nug and don't die when hit. This one doesn't run away. Anyway, I was going to demonstrate, but I'm not going to worry about chasing it. Just know they usually don't die in one hit. Usually have to whack him a couple times to take him out. I suppose a two-handed warrior could probably take one out in one swing, but that's not what I'm playing. Which actually raises another point I was going to bring up. All attacks benefit from flanking. Even your bows and your mage staves will benefit from flanking an enemy. The only thing that really doesn't is mage spells. Did I really go right around it? Thought I saw it. Yeah, I was wrong. A Druffalo with its ton of guard. Guard does look a little bit different on enemies than it does on me. But it's nothing. These are non-hostile enemies. I think they'll attack me if I attack them, but I don't really have any reason to attack them. Or need. Oh, here it is. So, one of the things I needed was a logging stone. You'll find a few of these on every map. You'll only find one in Haven. It's obviously right there. Put it in perspective, it's right there. So we're gonna just make our way back around the lake to get back to our camp. I'm gonna turn in these couple little quest items we've gotten. I want a new shield. I don't. I know it's like a really cool, nifty shield, but I don't actually like of it. So. This is definitely one of those heights where I could fall to my death if I wanted. Hello, bridge. I'm on top of you. I haven't tried before. I might be able to jump onto this bridge. And it looks like the bridge is an invisible wall. That's okay. I doubt there's anything up there. It just would have been nifty. Here we got a ram. And like I was saying earlier, you don't really have to worry about searching for all of this extra iron and stuff. As far as your most basic materials like iron and elf root, you'll probably get more than enough while actually playing the game. But definitely go out there to get that hut with the guy's notes and the logging site. Those are actually useful, so... Here we just found a ton of elf root. And the lake is frozen. I don't trust it though. I always just like half expect there to be some random scripted monster to just break through the water and instantly kill me. Just because that's how games are these days. I don't trust it. But we got all our side quest stuff we were after, so I forgot to go in this house. There is nothing in here. What about the side? Definitely not. So something I forgot to do to get this sword. I don't have anything.
Another time, then.
But what I can do is I can make this sword. It starts at 56 and it's got an offense slot. So I would probably actually put just regular iron in it. But I won't be because that still ends up being pretty weak. I don't know why I still have you. I thought I got rid of you. Oh yeah, that's Cassandra's stuff. I just gave her the new stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and sell that. I'll probably honestly never make use of that, so. I guess we're kind of done over here.
Why are you here with the scouts instead of bobbing around with the locals anyway?
Let's, oh, if I wanted quest journal. Need power for that. Turn the notes, fill the requisition. And this is another one I need power for, so. I'm basically going to return the notes, do that little requisition. I get 1 power up, which is not enough. If you'll remember. So I don't really get anything out of it.
Heaven has been filled with silence.
And then I'll head up to the hinterlands.
Mother Giselle is doing more for the
But that's definitely going to be the next episode. So much conversation. Conversation phase. Aiden.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajan was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Farewell.
So now he can make lyrium potions. Not as useful as it sounds.
Perhaps another time.
I mean, it'll result in slightly stronger shields for me from his barriers and such. It's just not as useful as it sounds like it would be. And then we need to fill the position. Let's get everybody some nice Inquisition weapons. +1 power. And that quest is done. And I actually got 200 influence for that. I did not remember that. So, we're actually done here, so we can actually tap on. Go to our world map. And we need to go to the hinterlands. And this is the screen where we select our party. We only have 3 members though, so we're going to just take all 3. You only get 4 members in your party at most. This category contains loot you can sell. Party can yield with potions or by visiting Inquisition camps. That's actually pretty worth noting. And that's just some lore stuff. Always with the long load screens. This one seems to be taking quite a bit longer, actually. I might have to move this game over to my SSD. See if that helps. I just have it running on a standard hard drive right now. There we go. That took forever. And it's still not done. Jeez. I don't remember these load screens being... Maybe this is why I've never finished it. That's a terrible joke. Come on. I hear something. I don't see anything, but I hear something. So I'm halfway there.
World of Andraste. I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach. It's an honor to meet you, my lady. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service. Well, all of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Harding, huh? Ever been to Kirkwall's Hightown?
I can't say I have. Why?
You'd be Harding and... No, never mind.
Ugh.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We should get
just
to
love how
business.
Cassandra
The situation's pretty
hates Varric.
dire. We
And he
came
knows
to
it.
secure horses from Redcliffe's old horsemaster. I grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's herds were the strongest and the fastest this side of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, we couldn't get to Dennett. Maker only knows if he's even still alive. Mother Giselle's at the crossroads helping refugees and the wounded. Our latest reports say that the war's spread there too. Corporal Vale and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people, but they won't be able to hold out very long. You best get going. No time to lose.
No time to lose. So this is just all an Inquisition camp is. You get a spot to rest for healing. You can change your party there. And something worth noting, oh, that's where you change the party, sorry. Change your potions, but requisitions, you have to ask for them. This person, I'm not going to do this. Yeah, whatever.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
I'll do one, just because it's a rather easy one. You need iron and onyx. Easy. All they ever do is give power. So it's really not that useful. And then if you look, I can immediately ask again for another wave of power. It's just not significant enough to make me care. Actually have Solus and Varric leveled up when I wasn't paying attention. It's like having Revival handy is a little bit better. Dispel is just such a strong spell. You can get so much nonsense done with Dispel. Yeah. If I use this against a full health target, I'll probably one-shot almost everything. Which is incredibly amazing. Yeah, now she's... Quest for requisitions. I suppose technically it looked like I could farm influence off it too. Not worth it. But anyways, we're in the hinterlands now. And I'm actually gonna call it here for now, for this episode. Because that last episode was just so much conversation, talking for days with everybody. And now we actually get back to the gameplay part. Oh, that's Cassandra's axe. Very nice. But yeah, now that we're actually back at the gameplay part, I'd want that to be separated a bit, and also because that took forever. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.